Hi, so welcome back to Real Auto Reports. Today we have the Real First Impressions edition on this 2014 IS 250 all-wheel drive. We've seen the IS 350 F-Sport and it was also the all-wheel drive, so we'll tell you a little bit about our Real First Impressions on these two vehicles and how this IS 250 is different. So let's take a look. All right, so from the front on this IS 250, the big difference between the car we looked at before is really this front fascia. You have the standard Lexus grille. This is going to be your hourglass or, well, they call it a spindle grille, and it is their brand standard now across all the lines. If you go back and look at all of the 13s and 14s, this being a 2014, you will see this grille on most of the cars now. This IS is new for the 2014 model year, and we first looked at it out at Alameda Island when they were doing their regional press launch. We like that it has the separated running lights here in LED. It kind of reminds us of the Nike swoosh, and it gives it an aggressive personality at the front. Then you have the sculpted headlights here, high definition, great for at night, and then your added fog lights for inclement weather. You have two different types of grille on this car as opposed to the F-Sport where it's one solid piece. This you have the slat grille here and then the mesh down below. It's a good looking car, and in this kind of metallic gray color, it's a lot more reserved than that bright red we had in the IS 350 F-Sport. As you can see, this car has a lot of personalities just from the front. But let's go take a look at the side and see how different it is. All right, so from the side, one of the things that's hard to see on this car unless you're in person, so I think you have to go take a look at, is the sculpting that they put into the IS body. We mentioned this on the F-Sport, but on this car, we don't have extra flashing. This is going to be your standard body. And it widens as you go across the door sill here, and you go across this ledge here, and it gets wider where the mirrors are separated. This is done for enhanced airflow around the car. You have your air fins here next to the mirror, and then the line swoops into this front fender line. It's all very well done, and we think that what Lexus has really done here is giving you a lot of interest and some fluid motion in the car when it's sitting still. These taillights in the new model as opposed to the old model are very different, and they line up right into this body line into the rear wheel arch here. Just go take a look at one up close and personal, and you'll see all these different lines. There's a line here that comes up the roof. There's the drainage line that comes into the rear windscreen for the water deflection. You've got this lovely ducktail spoiler back here that's built into the trunk lid, and we'll see that when we go around the back. All in all, this car is well designed, and it can be understated in a dark color like this, or it can be really attention grabbing in the brighter colors that they do, like the bright red we saw in the F-Sport. So let's take a look at the back and see what's going on out there. All right, so from the back, there's really not too much to talk about here, but what you'll see again is all of the sculpting in the rear body. They've done a lot of detail in these cars now, which gives them interest. You have the flared taillight here with your turn signal housing out here. Makes it visible because it does stand out. It's clear, and then the amber, not all red, like some cars have been in the past. Of course, your branding, you've got your rear backup camera hanging down under the trunk lid. You can also open the rear trunk by pressing the button, if I can find it. Oh, there it is, way over here. Open the trunk, lots of trunk space. As I said, I could crawl into this trunk and close the lid. That's nice to see on a compact four-door luxury sedan such as this IS. Of course, we have the all-wheel drive package, which adds the all-wheel drive badging in a tasteful fashion, I might add. You've got rear park assist, front park assist, as well as the dual exhaust, all tying this car together. And notice the body lines. They come up here, they wrap around, and everything is nice. Nothing looks like it has been forgotten on this car, so it wraps nicely and looks good no matter what package you're buying, F-Sport or not, as you can see in this more base IS 250. Let's go take a look at the inside and see if they did just as good a job in there. Okay, so from the interior, we do have the luxury package in this IS 250. So what that really means is that there is no model of this car that you cannot outfit the way that you want it. Every model is flexible and has packages to make it as luxurious or as simple as you might want. Of course, you're always going to get power windows and power door locks and all of that. But in this model, we have the 3 memory seats. We have the nice turn signals in the mirror. We have heated steering wheel, heated and cooled front seats. Everything you might want in a car like this. All of your steering wheel controls. You don't have adaptive cruise, but you do have auto high beams, and you have auto wipers, which is also a nice feature. You can see how far back I'm sitting here, and no, this is not how I drive. It has the valet feature so that when you open the door, or the move back feature, the exit feature, so that you can get out of the car. Your rear passengers might need a bit of a warning though, because this car is small, as I've said before, and the interior volume capacity is not quite what I would have expected, because when you move that seat back and there's someone 5'2" sitting behind you, and that's not a tall person, you squish their feet when you're 6 foot like I am, because it moves the seat all the way back, moves the wheel in and up. So it does that as soon as you turn the car off. It's a feature that you're going to want to disable when you're carrying passengers, or you might end up with some injuries, or at least them pinned in the back seat of the car until you start it again. It's just some of the things you learn as you get used to these cars, and it's something I noticed right off the bat, because the first thing we did with this car is throw everybody in it to see how it worked with 4 people. And, well, it's definitely more of a personal 4-door sedan, something you drive because you like it, and then you have to carry people in a pinch. The interior is very nice, just like it was when we saw it out at Alameda Island, and I think they've done a really nice job. We'll see how we feel when there's more people in the car and more stuff going on in our real video, the real review. But all in all, the finishes and the accoutrements are nice in the IS. All right, so under the hood, what you're going to find in the IS 250, just like you might expect, is a 2.5-liter inline 4-cylinder. This is going to be 204 horsepower as opposed to the 306 horsepower in the IS 350 line. This is going to be a good engine though, and it's going to feel peppy, it's going to feel torquey. You don't actually know that you're missing power. If you never drove a 350, you would probably never realize that the car is going a little bit slower. It has a nice sporty feel to it, and that's just our first impressions. It has the 6-speed automatic and the paddle shifters, all of that coming together to make a nice driving experience, well, at least right off the bat. Now, if you did comparisons side by side, you'd probably notice the difference because of the several second differential between the 0 to 60 time. This one will do 0 to 60 in about 8.3 seconds. Because it is all-wheel drive, you'd see more 7.7 in the rear-wheel drive. And of course, we have to adjust for altitude, so we will see different times altogether than other parts of the, well, sea level country. This car will also do 20 miles per gallon in the city, 27 out on the highway, and a 23 mile per gallon combined. And what you need to remember is that in the 350, these cars have gotten so, efficient that you're really only going to see about a mile per gallon less in the V6 350, both city and highway. You'll see 2 miles per gallon less on the combined rating for the V6. So let's go see how this car drives out on the road. So driving this car from a first impressions perspective is nice. I mean, the thing about these Lexus ISs is that they're well tuned for drivers. They have a nice steering feel. It's not too light. It's not too heavy. It's variable in that you don't feel like you're struggling in parking lots. And you pull out and it's got good pep, even in the 4-cylinder we have here. What I really liked about this car is that I didn't notice right off the bat that I wasn't in the IS 350. It's not as noticeable as you would find in, say, the 3 Series between the 328 and the 335, because you don't have such a huge twin-turbo differential there. But what we will find out as we drive this car more is the real video, the real review. And that's what's going to be coming up next on this car, so stay tuned for that. And we'll give you all the details about living with this car for several hundred miles. Well, I guess what we have left is the wrap-up. So we'll have that coming up next. So that's the Real First Impressions video edition on this 2014 Lexus IS 250 all-wheel drive. it is going to be a little bit different than your IS350 in that it is just a little bit more reserved. It has the inline 2.5-liter four-cylinder. That's going to be about 100 horsepower less, so about 204 horsepower coming out of this engine, which means you see a little bit better fuel economy, just a little bit. You know, it's about a mile per gallon in town and about a mile per gallon out on the freeway at 20 city, 27 highway, giving you that 23 mile per gallon combined. It's also not that far apart in price from the IS350 all-wheel drive or the F-Sport that we looked at, the red one on our YouTube page, just a little bit ago. Its stickers right about $47,000 is tested. That's the MSRP, not what you might be able to pay at a dealer. That's just the suggested price. And the suggested price on the F-Sport was about $49,600. So it's about $2,500 less in this package, and they are similarly equipped. You can get all of the luxury features on the 250. So really, the biggest difference between this and the one we tested previously is the suspension and the engine size. Generally, the performance is not going to be too far off the mark in this car, with 0 to 60 times right about 8.3 seconds. And, you know, if you have the rear-wheel drive and you don't need all-wheel drive, you're going to see about 7.7. It's a good in-town car, but from a first impressions perspective, where you're going to notice probably the most problems is if you carry people a lot. The interior is going to be the downfall of this car in that it feels tight and compact compared to some of the other competition on the market. But the handling is where it shines, because this car handles the road and is a driver's car through and through. We'll have more details for you in the real video, the real review. Make sure you come back right here to Real Auto Ranch. This is Real Auto Reports. I'm Jonathan McGrew, and we'll see you down the road.